everyone, Voodoo here, and Nexus King Salhadaar is dead. The Salad has been eaten. So today we're going to go over it, obviously, like we always do. Looking at lore, looking at talent builds, looking at the video, talking about tips and tricks so that you can kill this boss. Really fun boss, honestly. I really enjoyed it. Basically, where the raid got real, I guess. Oraz was kind of the first one, but you know, that was it's been nerfed pretty heavily now. But Salhadaar was really fun. I enjoyed it. I think the fight is really well done. I think it is really difficult in P1, but once you're through that like healing check thing, it gets a little easier. We 4 healed. I think the common strat is the 3 heal still, but with the damage we had, 4 healing was just safer, so that's what we went with. I think more people will probably start doing that. I played Felskard for our prog and our kill. I'll talk about that later on. Eldrazi Reaver also fine. I think both builds are very good in this fight. We're having people obviously parse good with both. Just depends on what your guild needs, yada yada yada. And overall, I think this fight's just sick. So without anything else, we're gonna get right into it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Alpha's coming this week, so there'll be content on that. So follow for that. And with that, just get to it. Okay, so talent builds first. So this is the build I personally played. I got Inertia pilled because of this long story. We're not gonna go there. But this build was really, really good. You also can play the Exergy version, which drops that for this, and then you just kind of grab Blind Fury instead of Dancing with Fate, kind of like that. And there's also the no mover version, but if you are progging this fight after the 7th, I would play no mover, which we can look at, like, where is it? Here. That'd be no mover. But otherwise, I would just play kind of one of the mover builds because I do believe they are better overall. Felskard, you would play on this fight if you need boss damage. Now, Felskard is really good at P1, P3, and can be good in the intermission, like the damage amp. If you have like trinkets and stuff, AR can also be good there if you're holding glaives. Both are reasonably solid for the damage amp. But I played Felskard for boss damage because we didn't really need the damage AR brings in the platforms, at least on my platform. I believe the other Havoc did play Eldrazi Reaver in our kill. But I just didn't think we needed them, and my right lead agreed with me, so he was like, yeah, you know, play Felskard. So I did, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good boss damage. I did good P1. I misused my trinket a little bit, which I think could have been better if I had a little more time planning on it. But overall, really, really good. Other build you could play, of course, is Eldrazi Reaver, just the normal one. This build has a lot more platform damage than Felskard does, but you do have overall lesser damage during to boss. But you do a lot more, obviously, on the platform. So it just depends where you need the damage. Our platform's a problem. Play Reaver. Is the boss more important? Play Felskard kind of deal. And on the platforms, too. Reaver just, like, annihilates the Titan. Looking at Lorgs here. So there's kind of 2 main uses of meta, I guess you could say. And if you see stuff where like someone doesn't use meta for a long time, it's because they were on a different platform from where the log was based, so don't worry about that. But most meta usage is on cooldown. Some people are holding their second meta for the platform. Now, I would not suggest this at all. I don't think this is good, despite the fact people are parsing with it. And the reason for that is that you just don't have it for the damage amp. Now, if you're playing Felskard, this is a bigger deal. If you're playing Eldrazi Reaver, it's like less important. But generally speaking, you really want meta for this damage amp because like you want to do damage in the damage amp. So I think metaing on cooldown is really good for boss damage. And then you can also meta on the platform if you need platform damage. But again, I just don't think you do these days. So I really would suggest just metaing on cooldown. Use it as soon as it comes up pretty much, and then you'll have it back up again. For the intermission, there are other weird... Ooh, that's way messier than I thought. There's some weird holes as well just to get Essence Break in the intermission. Like, generally speaking, this Essence Break doesn't really come up till later in the thing here. So if you have meta, I would generally hold this Essence Break a little bit just so you line it up with the damage amp. You see some people are using it, some people are not using it. So it's kind of spread out in its usage over the fight here. But realistically speaking, like, I just want everything for the damage amp pretty much. Like, this is the most important part for boss damage right here, because the more damage you do to the dragon, the less health Salhadaar has in P3, which is very important. I think we're almost killing it, so it might not be that big of a deal anymore, especially with like turbo boost coming soon and more gear and stuff like that, and more damage amp 3%, whatever, the ramping nerf thing. But like, I think meta on cooldown is better, and then you also get another one in P3, whereas some people didn't actually get one. So this person right here, Slovy, I don't think they believe they even... Oh, they did. Okay, they had a long enough thing. But if they were like this fight length, for instance, they wouldn't have gotten a third meta. or a 4th meta, which I think is not very good. So I would just say meta on cooldown, but if you need platform damage, you can do that. I just recorded like half of this thing, realized my recording, I wasn't actually recording. So, you know, another classic voodoo moment here. Anyways, opener. So I should have used my prism on open here, at least for 1 stack. I didn't. I ended up holding it for like the 2nd essence break, like the first non-meta one, for P1 damage. I think that's wrong. Just if you have one, just there you go. That's for the future. But yeah, so do the Felskar opener, and then we go immediately basically into the action here. So depending on which order you get here, because you're either going to be soaking on the 1st or 3rd conquest. Conquer, sorry. So Conquer is first, then you're going to run out to the mark over here to square, and you have to dodge these beams while you're running out. These beams are the most important part of P1. They are like Vietnam, you have to dodge them. They are very dangerous. If you hit them for more than a tick, you will die. And if you die in this fight, you get mind controlled. It's very bad. So you really need to dodge these things. What I often do is I will pre-blur a little bit. So I blur basically roughly when it tells me to, and that gives me a little bit more leeway into this first soak, as well as having it up for the soak here. You really want to have a defensive for each of these, especially early on. Later on, I stopped using one on the 3rd set because then I could save my nether walk in case I needed it for something, which was useful. Like if I missed a soak or yada yada yada, hit a ghost. But you really need to watch out for these beams. They're really dangerous. They will kill you. You have to hard respect them. Later on, you'll get more used to them, whatever, but you have to hard respect them. Claw is the next big thing. Claw is basically just like don't move with them. If you have to move, try and move along your line. What happens here is Narc goes right here, and he's not going to move because he's casting. But his claw actually reaches me. I thought it didn't. What I should have done here, I mean, I live, so it's fine. But what I should have done here is walk up my claw to stand here so I don't get ticked by Narco, but I do. So boom, boom. I almost die. I rip a potion. It's fine. Dying is bad. Our mage already died. That probably would have been a wipe if we both died there. But we didn't, and this is the kill pool now. Ghost is the next most important thing. The ghost will basically come out after every claw set. I would recommend turning on the countdown for them so you get ready. And you should practice these if you're not very good at them. The first set's fine. It's just one. You just have to look at it. But the 2nd and 3rd sets do get kind of tough if you're not as good at this. Now, what I would recommend doing is going to do Nexus Princess Kaiveza, question mark, practicing there. You can also just like find an aim trainer anywhere as a joke, but it kind of helped. I did the human benchmark aim trainer before prog this day. But I was always pretty good at the ghost. I think I messed up twice the entirety of prog, generally just because I forgot there was a 3rd one. But you really want to make sure you're good at looking at these. Like really. So here, I'm working on another essence break combo. I miss an essence break. An immolation aura. And again here, this is what an example with it on the 1st set, where when it's on the 1st set, you do have to dodge beams. Generally they'll come like that, 1 then 1. So it's kind of like a bit of a zigzag, but you need to make sure you're dodging these beams. Like again, it's so important. This is my darkness as well. Darkness is pretty good for these because you do take a bit of a dot damage afterwards as well. But just you need to make sure you are dodging the beams. If you get hit by a beam, you've absolutely goofed it and you probably are dead. So dodge those beams, be good at it. Next up is going to be claws again. So again, with claws, you just want to stay. 2 sets, we move for 1. I just stay here, making sure I'm not going to double tick somebody. And then more ghosts are coming. Now this time there's 2 ghosts. The amount of ghosts scales based off how many stacks of this you've dropped. So look at the 2nd, and then what I normally do is I'll kind of mentally plan out where I'm going. So I'll see the first one spawn. I'm like, okay, we'll face the 2nd one, or we'll face the first one, then I'll mention out loud where the 2nd one is. So I'll be like, okay, first one there, and then like the next one will have to go left, or I'll have to turn around or whatever. So here again, one on the 1st, we have to dodge both beam sets. That one's a little unfortunate because it's where essence break happens, but you know, c'est la vie. And yeah, you're just dodging stuff here. And we're about to get the 3rd ghost set, which is the scariest ghost set. Because there's 3 of them. So boom, 1, then I go left and I'll go behind. 2, 3, you have a few seconds each time, and then we're into the phase. So during this time, Salhadaar will just teleport to the middle. Feel free to damage him here. You really want boss damage. And you can go at about like 1 or 2 seconds, just be safe, and then go right back in, because there's actually nothing that goes on in the center here. You can just be mailing the boss in the center. That's totally safe. I would recommend dropping a meta here. This is like, you know, meta on cooldown kind of thing. Drop your meta here, you'll do more damage this way. Boom. This beam set is very safe. You have a ton of space for it. The next beam sets are not. So there are 2 ways these beams can spawn. So you'll get both of them. There's 2 sets. So the first way is that the beams are pointing in. Second way is that the beams are pointing out. The beams are pointing in, then you have to stand way outside, like on this very edge here, behind the gate normally, and just kind of squinch up. And you definitely cannot get ticked by these beams. You can maybe take like 1 small tick, but if you take more than 1, you're dead. After that, you gate in. You always do the first one and then gate the second one. This one, you're gonna stand right in the center. It looks very satisfying to do. And then we are going to platforms. So the thing with those beams is that the next set you get, which you'll get when you come back from platforms, it'll be the opposite. So that one we started outside first and then went inside. The next one will start inside first and then go outside. So very important to know. This sucks for us, but not much we can do about it. And then platforms. Now I'm a backup kick, so I focus this guy, whatever. But you need to be killing the Titan here. So what I do is I pop my trinket here and just kind of do as much AoE damage as possible. Now on this pull, our Warlock forgot he was in AoE talents. So you're going to see everything die before the actual main target here, which is really, really funny. But oftentimes it doesn't happen. So we'll back up and talk about mechanics again, obviously. So these Twilight Massacres here are basically Kai'Veza lines. And what you want to do with these is just drag them through past the other person. This can get dangerous, so I would recommend blurring this. This is probably the most dangerous part of the platform. If you hit 2, you're basically dead. So just be careful. Then you want to go in to bait mortars, just tight stack, and then follow where your tank is going. Generally, you want to, like, he'll like tell you, or he'll ping, but he kind of stopped doing that, which is like, you know, is what it is. But yeah, you just want to blow everything up here, kill the Titan. Important you don't kill these Reapers before they break the shield. Narco. Because then we're stuck here. The Titan's dead basically, but we had to break down this guy's shield, which sucks, which really does suck. We're losing boss damage because of this, so just make sure you're not playing AoE talents on the platform. Just like play single target talents, kill the big guys that are important. We actually almost hit beams, which is bad. Like the circles spawn and then the first beam happens in about like 8-10 seconds, so we were quite late in getting back here. I would send this essence break. Okay, I don't. Never mind. No, this is the one you hold. I am wrong. This is the one you hold. Because intermission's coming up soon. But again, so this time it'll be outside first. So we go inside, and then we have the gate one out. You can kind of greet a little bit, but do not, like, you have to respect that. And then everyone has to kind of be scooped up there in the middle. And then we're on to the intermission. So this is where Felskard comes to play. So really you want to make sure you're holding stuff till he goes to King's Hunger, and then you're popping all your trinkets, you're grabbing your Demon Soul. You are doing absolutely everything in your power here to just annihilate this boss. So absolutely just blow up on this guy, do as much damage as you can. I don't believe we kill the dragon. These claws will kill you, by the way, so just be careful. And then at the end of this, you will get a line on you. So you will want to use a personal. So I believe right around here we use personal. I use my second charge of my Nether Prism as well, just to get more damage onto it. We kill the dragon, has about 10% HP when it phases away. And then we're on to P3, and you can see that I've climbed a lot during the damage amp. So I managed to do a lot of damage on the damage amp there. P3 is also kind of tough. So P3 is just about placing stuff and then making sure you get those placements right. I believe I get the first one here, so I can show you. But for melee, you want to go in X. And you want to have each mark in each of these different quadrants separated by these like glimmers or shadows or whatever. I didn't get it. Okay, I thought I did. A different pull. So you see here how they're all spread out. You want that space both for the ease of dodging the rings that comes after, and also because it just really hurts. So they're gonna drop there. Just go right into your rotation, doesn't matter. Those things don't hurt you till the spikes pop up, so you're very fine. Like right then, don't touch them, but you can be inside of them otherwise. And then you have to dodge these rings. Now there's a weak aura that will tell you when to move. But generally speaking, you want to just move into the largest space you can right after the spikes happen. And you have to hard respect this. Do not greed these spikes, you will die. So after this one, we're going to go, boom, there we go. And we're in here. It's gonna happen again. I believe it's after this next one we go. And now we go. It's all about just going across the shortest possible one you can. And now we're on to Starkiller swings. So these on Mythic only change the direction of the spikes. So what you want to do is hit the closest 3, and you need to make sure that you are tracking this because these move fairly rapidly. So when you get one, you have to walk along with it, and I would say call which one you have. There's a weak core that like assigns them, but I would say like, oh, I got left, I got right. Tank always has center, so don't worry about that one. But that way we know that people are doing them. Because if you miss one of these, you wipe. It just immediately you wipe, you're dead. Like, that's it. And try not to get hit by it if you're not the person doing it. It puts a pretty nasty dot on you. There we go, they're coming out again. P3, once you get the movement and stuff down, is like pretty chill because it just repeats over and over again. It's like the same thing every time. So we'll have drops coming out. These drops for melee go on coin, which is the next ring out. Basically, melee just does first ring, second ring, and then range, I believe, always does the outer ring because there's a lot of space there. Now for these, again, I actually do get it. Okay, cool. This is a great time to nether walk because dropping a star on you is like probably the highest damaging part of the fight. And it very easily can kill you. I would recommend nether walking at the last minute because if you nether walk early, I would not have been able to do that movement. We would have wiped here, but I managed the movement because of nether walk. You want to space out here roughly 1 or 2 of these little notches and then just like rip nether walk because it does a lot of damage and then puts a nasty dot on you. But again, you know, if you're nether walking, you should be fairly safe, just in like terms of things there. No, I don't do that here. So we're gathering our flip. We move into the little pocket here. And then after this one, we're going to move again for that. And then again here, I'm just saving my trinket for nether. Sorry, for meta. Just because that's like the next highest damaging point I have. Again, star killers don't miss. I don't know how these got separated like this. Were they always like that? I don't even know. But I pop my trinket here. Boom. We can get to go off and absolutely slam on this guy. I do end up getting a star killer here, so I'm just finishing my essence break and then going up to it. I'm tracking it. Make sure you follow the beam because if you miss, again, you wipe. So we'll rewind a little there just to really hammer that one home. But you are tracking this thing with your red line. Do not mess that up. Otherwise, you know, you're just damaging during meta. And this is the last drop. So this is again a scary one. So I should be darknessing here, but they go out. They reorganize a bit. Vic's a little too far away, but it should be fine overall. As long as they're not touching, we're fine. And these two are very close to touching, but we just managed to get away with it. And then this is the last move of the fight. We go after this one, go now, we wait, and then we go into the next little pocket there. Although I think you can wait one more time, but that one you have a bit more leeway to. And then star killers, and then if you do these properly, the boss is dead. So we have 2 star killer sets, and then if we do those properly, this guy will just fall over. And then you'll enter the final, like, enrage, I believe. I'm not even sure if we get it on this one because our pull was pretty clean. But basically at this point, and there you go, we're like, yeah, the boss is dead. Everyone's telling me shut up because we had a 0.6% wipe where I'm like, oh shit, guys, the boss is dead. Let's fucking go. And we wiped. So don't do that. We don't even get the enrage cast here. So he starts an enrage cast. And then you like will fill the room. We don't even get it. We're gamers. And there you go. That's the fight. So Havoc stuff, nothing too crazy. It's basically just like watch out with your movement, meta on pull, and then on CD, and just be super safe, right? Like this fight at this point isn't really that crazy of a damage check. These lines will kill you. Basically everything will kill you. So just play in a way to not die, basically. So just be careful. Play safe. And generally speaking, like Havoc does pretty decently on this fight, and overall, like I would expect people to do pretty well on it. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed. Next video we'll probably be breaking down the deep dive for Alpha, Midnight, whatever, and then we are talking about Devourer, talking about Havoc changes. Hopefully some good stuff is going to come at the end of this week. We'll find out. But hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace. A big thank you to all of my channel members. Thank you to Correlated. Thank you to Alexander Trifunovic, Fear Redefined, Loose Change, R Palms 46, Basu Terceros, Zuligan, Dupe, Spaghetti, Gabriel Correa, Magic Man 133, and Felfadaren Dark Terror. Thank you all so much. Thank you to everyone who watches the videos, but especially to those of you who are supporting the channel. Helps me make content, of course. If you want to support the channel, get your name shouted out at the end of the video. Consider becoming a channel member down below. There'll be more perks coming soon-ish for channel members. Trying to work on that a little. And again, thank you to everybody. Also, go follow me on Twitch, stuff like that. And y'all are awesome. See you guys next time. Peace.